This episode brings back a beloved character that we have met before in the past. I'm not sure if he's beloved, but we have met him before. And that is Meleager the Mighty. Even though I think we should all be aware that there is room for only one person to have the Mighty affixed to the end of his name, and that person's name rhymes with Boxer. I love you, Joxer. I miss you. Please come back soon. Now, I do want to say right off the bat, when they approach this town and first start to see its residents, I got a little concerned that we were actually heading into a cult storyline. Because, like, every single person in this entire town is dressed in the exact same shades of, like, drab blue and drab purple, and I don't know. Maybe that's how they roll in this little town. I don't really know the name of it. So I clearly cannot do the, no doubt, copious historical research that the Xena writer team came up with to decide on this course of costume action. In any case, Xena and Gabrielle get there and quickly realize that things are not really how they expected them to be, because Meleager has just gone on trial for murder and has lost. Now, obviously, Gabrielle instantly believes that he is innocent because she is Gabrielle, and that is how her world works. Xena, on the other hand, is kind of cautiously on his side, but is quickly swayed by the fact that the judge is this, like, beardy McJustice dude named Urbis. And Urbis has got himself a reputation for justice. Anyway, Xena goes to talk to beardy McJustice and discovers that the entire case against him is pretty much he killed this dude because this random lady saw him coming out carrying a bloody sword, and the guy was, like, staggering ahead of him and died. Admittedly, it does not look good, but it's not exactly an airtight case. Xena goes ahead, brings the evidence to Gabrielle. Gabrielle really doesn't care and very quickly busts the dude out of prison, and I really don't think she thought this through because she is pretty much immediately apprehended and almost lynched. Xena promises beardy McJustice that she will go, she will get Meleager, she will return him, he will be executed, and she and Gabrielle will ride off really unhappily into the sunset. Now, Gabrielle is none too pleased because she sent Meleager off to go prove his innocence, and if they bring him back, that is not so much gonna happen. Problem is, Xena at this point is pretty convinced that he is guilty, and so this tension, this fighting between them just remains, and I don't understand why they're fighting. Can't they just hug? Alas, there will be no Xena and Gabrielle hugs. I know, I'm not happy about it either, but that is the show they have given us. Now, it's time for a tense action scene. Xena and Gabrielle approach Meleager on horseback. Gabrielle shouts out a warning to Meleager. Meleager, go! Hide in the woods! Meleager goes and runs and starts to hide in the woods. Xena and Gabrielle gallop up to the very edge of the woods. Gabrielle raises her staff in defiance and tells Xena, no, you'll have to go through me to get to him. Xena, as will be her pattern in this episode, just leaps over Gabrielle's heads and goes running off through the woods as quickly as she can. A chase ensues. Meleager is running as fast as he can through the woods. Xena is flipping over inconvenient branches and trees in her way, as is her wont, and Gabrielle must have gotten lost, because girl is super far behind and does not catch up with these guys for a while. Eventually, Xena does catch up to Meleager, and they fight, and continue to fight, until Gabrielle runs up, tries again to stop Xena, and Xena pretty much has to reveal that, dude, if you don't come back with us, these guys are gonna hunt down Gabrielle, and neither of us want this, okay? And so Meleager is like, fine, dude, look, Gabrielle, I lied to you, I did it, I'm sorry, let's go. Now, obviously, this is very sad, and no one's talking to anybody else, and so Xena has to go put on her feelings face and have a heart-to-heart with both Meleager and with Gabrielle to convince them to make up and be friends. Now, as they kind of casually meander their way back to this village, things start to kind of come together, and we realize that, dun dun dun, Meleager didn't actually kill this dude. Now, what actually happened is a little convoluted, and even though I do understand it because I was paying attention, I feel that there's not really a good way to explain it. It gets a little complicated around here, because it turns out the victim was trying to kill an innocent guy who had dirt on Beardy McJudge face. I don't remember what his name was. Beardy McJustice. He had dirt on Beardy McJustice. Long story short, Meleager didn't do it, and Beardy McJustice has gotta go down. Now, as they meander down the road, someone starts to shoot at them, which, you know, let's be fair, can happen when you're on the road with an escaped convicted murderer. I'm sorry, it's just what happens. And now comes what is the most improbable sequence in the entire episode. First, Xena catches an arrow in midair. Then, very quickly, catches another one. Now, with an arrow in the left hand, an arrow in the right hand, a third shot is fired, and Xena must leap through the air and catch the third arrow in her teeth. It is at this point that Xena orders Meleager and Gabrielle to stay low. She spots the would-be assassin hiding high in the branches of a reasonably sizable tree. Xena takes a running start of about 2 or 3 steps, and then jumps. She just jumps and flies about 2 stories up in the air and lands on the branch, I think actually above assassin dude, and manages to scare him into falling off the tree and into a noose, which she has somehow also managed to widen enough to get it around his entire upper body and then, you know, get it over him so that he just begins to hang there from the tree. Unfortunately, time runs out for Meleager and it's time for him to be executed. We see the big old bald executioner pick out his favorite execution poncho because he has options. He is a stylish man. Now, all hope is not entirely lost because we do see Xena grabbing the second option in the execution poncho line. So we know she's around, but we're not sure what her plan is. They take Meleager up to the platform, put the noose around his neck. There's a touching, loving look between him and Gabrielle at a far distance. And then they pretty much pull the lever thing and he kind of falls. And it looks like he's pretty much a goner. Now, we're all kind of expecting at this point the executioner to throw back his hood, reveal himself to be Xena, and somehow cut him free and save the day. But this does not happen. Executioner is the executioner. And the next thing we know, Beardy McJustice is kind of crowing over the body of dead Meleager. Now, I have told you what the most improbable thing to happen in this episode was, but I have not told you the greatest. For lo, in this scene, we have Beardy McJustice filling out the paperwork. And in that paperwork, there is the question, cause of death. A dramatic pause ensues. And in that moment, he reveals the answer. Cause of death? Justice. It is a very beautiful moment. It is at this point that the magic happens, and Meleager pops up because he's not dead, and starts accusing Beardy McJustice. Beardy McJustice cannot really face the fact that the guy who's supposed to be dead is actually up and knows way too much about his past wrongdoings. And all is well. Xena and Gabrielle are reunited. There's a big group hug with Meleager. I guess I lied, there is hugging. And everything ends happily, and Beardy McJustice goes to jail because true justice has been served. It is not perhaps the greatest episode that ever episoded, but we do have some positives. 1, Xena makes this face a lot. 2, she also makes this face. 3, there's hugging. 4, cause of death, justice. And really, I don't think we need anything more than that.